over their heads to scare them back into the pack. The whipper-in brings together creatures that sometimes stray very far apart. My job is to bring people together, to pass bills, to build coalitions. But I've never in my life brought people together as effectively as I did when I was on the brink of death. That day began a convergence of people from all walks of life, people of very different personal backgrounds and different political inclinations, people who otherwise have had, if we're being honest, very little in common cause in recent years. So whether you personally share the same conservative principles I have or subscribe to a much different political philosophy, I hope even the most cynical among you will acknowledge, if only silently and to yourselves, that what this story suggests most of all is that there's something very unique and very powerful about you, about all of us. You may have heard the story of this baseball shooting and moved on, never having known how seriously some of us were hurt, how close to death we were. You may not have known how long the road to recovery has been and how much of it still lies ahead. Certainly, there have been many much bigger tragedies affecting many more people since that day. Still, I, one man struggling to survive, received so much support and so many prayers and so many gestures from so many far-flung places. I felt like I was being lifted up by the entire nation. And all the kindness and humor and gifts and prayers pouring into my one little hospital room, in all the talent that was brought to bear for my benefit, I was made to feel that an attack on me was an attack on us all. And I was provided a reminder that this nation is special because of how many different kinds of people share it, not in spite of that. It's the reason I'm alive. So I've endeavored to make this a book that can welcome anybody and perhaps challenge everybody. On the day I was shot, hundreds of pieces of bullet and bone split apart inside me and took me right up to the brink of death. But it was also a day hundreds of things came together so I could survive. As I've looked back on the past year, I've learned new and interesting and inspiring things about many of these people who saved me. I've learned their many different stories. I've tried to learn who they are, these people who played parts, some small, some almost cinematically large, in saving my life. And I've decided to try and tell the story through them. This is not just a story about the hundreds of pieces of metal and bone that almost killed me. It's about the hundreds of new pieces of my life, the new people in my life. And I figure, how better to tell this story? How better to tell the story of all the things that had to go right, the hundreds of little miracles and acts of heroism that had to happen for me to be here telling this story, than through those very special people, the heroes God put in place to make those miracles possible. The way I see it, it's a very small step toward returning the favor. But right now, small steps are nothing to scoff at. 5:45 p.m., Tuesday, June 13th. The Parks Department. On the evening of Tuesday, June 13th, a man wandered onto a baseball field in Alexandria, looking around. It's a well-kept facility with a slight crown, a gentle rounding toward the middle that helps rainwater drain off the sides. It has the effect of making you feel, when you're standing right next to it, like it rises above you. It makes you feel small. The air was cooling off, the heat of an early summer day easing away. A late afternoon fog was beginning to lift, moving north toward the Capitol, as Parks Department staff finished their work. They dragged the field to smooth out the bumps. They laid down fresh chalk on the baselines. As the man surveyed the field, something caught his eye. A gate on the third base side. It seemed, from where he stood, to be open. That was asking for trouble. An off-leash dog trotting in to dig up a divot. Kids leaving behind a few long-necked mementos of their summer vacation. The man walked over to third base, closed the gate, and locked it. Then he left for the night.